Hello stars and fellow BL lovers, welcome back to my channel where I analyze the horoscopes of your favorite BL couples. Today's video is special. It's an update video about OhmNanon. I made a video about their relationship some months ago and usually that's it. I don't make other videos about the same BL ship. Yet people keep asking me about OhmNanon and other three pairs because they are all in an exceptional situation, not your usual BL ship. So this time I will make an exception and I will upload a short series of update videos. In this one here we talk about important dates during the next weeks and months, first for Om and for Nanon individually. But I will also take a look at their combined horoscope. And even more important, how do their stars look on the 25th of November when the big GMMTV event will take place? By the way, in this video you will also find out why you shouldn't trust everything that will be presented at the big event on the 25th. This is what we talk about in this video. Besides OhmNanon, in my next videos I will take a look at another duo that stopped working together, Smart Boom. And then we have two Chinese ships where the artists haven't been seen together in a long time and people want to know what they are doing. Yizhan from The Untamed, and Tian Juning and Ziyu from Revenge Love. My next regular videos will be about Xu Jin from Kill to Love and Kang Namping, who played together in Kemjira. These videos will come during the next 2 or 3 weeks, but already in the next days I will upload another video that I'm very thrilled to make. A video about Ompa Watt's ideal partner. Make sure that you won't miss any of these videos. Hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. Now let's find out what the stars have in store for Om and Nanon during the next months. At this point I want to ask you something. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to follow them closely and I don't know their schedule. If you know of events that are planned for the dates that I will mention, please write that in the comments. Or if you happen to watch this video sometime later and something happened on a date that I've mentioned, please write that too. I also want to make it clear that I don't know Om and Nanon personally. I am not affiliated to them or their team in any way. So if you think that I have inside information and I will spill the tea, you are in the wrong place. I'm an astrologer and what I say here is my own interpretation of their horoscope. So no secret inside info. I also want to mention that I know their birthday, but I don't know their exact time of birth, and that's very important in astrology to see exactly what areas of life are influenced by the planets. If it's work-related and public information, or if it's about their private life and remains unknown to the fans. This means that what we have here are pieces of a big puzzle, and we have to work together to fit these pieces into place. So thank you for all the info that you add in the comments. In the second half of November, Om may feel old wounds around trust, loyalty, and fear of rejection resurfacing, especially between the 23rd and 28th. It's uncomfortable, but this is exactly where the universe opens an important door for him, a chance to heal something he has carried for a long time. The energy around him is intense and deeply transformative, giving him inner fire, determination, and the power to make real progress. But this intensity comes with risks. If he doesn't pace himself, it can lead to burnout, conflicts, or even self-sabotage. If he stays grounded and channels his fire wisely, this period becomes one of major personal growth, emotional strength, and a clear sense of purpose. Another important date will be the 18th of December, maybe 3 days before or after this date. On this day, he will feel a strong fiery energy inside him. Things he usually keeps quiet, like wishes, frustrations, or even anger, come to the surface. He feels braver, more direct, and less afraid to say what he really thinks. He won't accept anything that feels unfair or controlling. During this time, his charm, creativity, and confidence are stronger than usual, and people will feel his presence. This can be a great time for him to show who he really is and set clear boundaries. But if he acts too quickly or reacts without thinking, small things can turn into conflicts. The best way for him to use this energy is to stay calm, be honest, and choose his actions with care. At the beginning of March 2026, Om enters a period where life pushes him to look at himself with full honesty. It's a moment when reality becomes clearer, what works, what doesn't, and what needs to change. He may feel more pressure or more responsibility than usual, as if life is asking him to grow up a little and make choices that truly matter. During this time, Om starts to redefine his goals and the kind of person he wants to become. Anything weak or unstable may fall away, but this helps him see what is truly important. Sometime toward the end of May and beginning of June 2026, Om will feel a fresh wave of inspiration pushing him toward his true path. New ideas or unexpected chances may appear and help him move closer to what he's really meant to do. It's a light, exciting energy, the kind that makes him curious, open, and ready to try something different. He may meet people who wake something up inside him or show him a new direction. These moments might feel surprising, but also strangely right. This is a great time for him to experiment, take small risks, and follow his instincts because these impulses guide him towards a future that fits him better. Then, in the first half of July 2026, things become even more meaningful. This period brings one of the strongest destiny moments in his life. Opportunities, people, or invitations may show up exactly when he needs them. His confidence grows and he feels more sure about his path and purpose. Support comes more easily, whether through mentors, teamwork, or simple good luck. Anything he starts now has extra power behind it. If he steps forward with courage, he can make a huge leap toward the future he truly wants. As I said, I don't know the exact areas of life that will be influenced by these transits. But if it's work related, looking at all of this, I would say that he might start to work on a new project, like to film a new series sometime in March. If the series will then be released in July, it will have a huge success and Om will become even more popular than he already is. 2025 was a very transformative year for Nanon. Many of the major transits in his horoscope show that a deep inner process began back in January and February and it's still unfolding. This whole period feels like a big reality check, the kind that pushes him to see things as they truly are, not as he hoped they would be. He's learning what is solid in his life and what isn't, who truly supports him, and what direction actually feels right for his future. It's not always easy, but this energy is shaping him into someone stronger, clearer, and more grounded. Little by little, Nanon is stepping out of old patterns and stepping into a version of himself that's more confident, more mature, and much closer to his real purpose. In the first half of December, Nanon steps into a period where relationships and commitment become much clearer and more important than usual. Around the 8th of December, he feels a strong need to talk honestly about what he wants, what he expects, and what he's willing to give. Conversations about trust, fairness, and long-term plans come naturally now. It's easier for him to express his intentions and to understand someone else's. This is a great moment for clearing the air, making decisions together, or setting healthier boundaries. Then around the 19th and 20th of December, the same theme becomes even more personal. Nanon feels a deep pull toward loyalty, stability, and being taken seriously in his connections. He may notice what or who feels right for him, and he might realize what kind of partnership actually supports his growth. These days mark an important relationship moment. Something may deepen, begin, or shift in a way that helps him understand his true needs and the kind of bond that makes him feel valued. Around the 23rd of December 2025, Nanon reaches a very intense turning point. Something that probably began in mid-February 2025 now comes full circle. This period brings deep emotions to the surface: power struggles, jealousy, complicated attraction, or questions of trust. It's the kind of energy that forces him to face what he has been avoiding, especially in close relationships or situations where someone holds emotional power over him. He may feel pushed to reclaim his strength, to stop giving too much, or to stop letting someone else's expectations, for example the fans' expectations, shape his choices. For some people, this is the moment when a relationship dynamic shifts completely. For others, it's the moment they break free from a situation that has felt controlling or unhealthy. Whatever form it takes, this energy helps Nanon cut ties with what no longer supports his growth and step into a more empowered, honest version of himself. Early 2026 brings two very different but deeply connected energies for Nanon. In the first half of January, life puts real pressure on him. Since April 2025, he's been moving through a cycle that tests his strength, patience, and identity. Now it peaks. He may feel blocked, judged, or pushed to deal with responsibilities he can't avoid. This is a moment when he asks himself big questions. Who am I? Am I on the right path? What needs to change? Anything shaky or superficial may fall apart, but only so he can build something stronger. If he stays patient and disciplined, he comes out of this phase more stable, mature, and grounded. Then in the second half of January or maybe even the first February week, the energy shifts dramatically. A wave of growth arrives, powerful, steady, and full of potential. Goals that once felt far away suddenly seem possible. Nanon gains more confidence, more inner strength, and a clear sense of strategy. This can bring amazing results, career progress, financial growth, new influence, or opportunities that elevate him to the next level. His worldview also expands. He lets go of old limits and sees his future with new purpose. Together, these two energies reshape him. First the pressure, then the breakthrough. Early 2026 becomes a turning point where Nanon steps into a stronger, wiser, and more empowered version of himself. In the first half of June 2026, Nanon will feel a mix of strong motivation and steady discipline guiding him forward. Around mid-month, his energy and confidence surge. He feels braver, more competitive, and ready to take action on his goals. This can bring great progress, but it can also make him a bit impulsive or impatient if he pushes too hard or tries to do everything at once. At the same time, a calmer, more grounded influence helps balance things out. He starts thinking more seriously about the future, planning with clearer structure, and making choices that actually support long-term results. This steady energy keeps him focused and prevents him from burning out. Together, these influences make June a powerful month for growth. Nanon has both the fire to move forward and the patience to build something solid as long as he stays intentional, listens to his limits, and uses his momentum wisely. Here comes the part that you are probably most curious about. We are taking a look at OhmNanon's stars for the 25th of November. But first of all, an important information and why I said at the beginning of this video that you shouldn't trust everything that will be presented at the GMMTV event on the 25th of November. Mercury, the planet of communication, is currently retrograde, meaning that many things that are being communicated now will be turned upside down later. In this case, it could mean, for example, that some series that are announced for 2026 could be delayed and will be released in 2027. Or maybe the cast for certain series will be changed and some couples will be replaced by others. The 25th of November is one of the most powerful days of this year for a true karmic crossroads. Transiting Pluto conjunct his natal south node is a very important aspect that reaches its peak, bringing back old patterns that feel heavy, emotional, and impossible to ignore. This is the moment when fears, wounds, and past life dynamics resurface so he can finally break free from them. Something inside him is ready to die, an old role, a relationship pattern, a way of giving his power away. It's intense, raw, and deeply transformative, but it opens the way toward his destiny, a future that feels more honest, more alive, and more aligned with who he is becoming. At the same time, the day gives him surprising support. He receives a clear push toward long-term stability. Suddenly he knows what he must commit to and where he must set boundaries. A lucky spotlight falls on him too, one of those moments where he stands in exactly the right place at the right time. He also feels more nurtured and grounded within himself. Something warms his heart, reminding him of his worth and helping him reconnect with parts of himself he usually protects. A gentle inner transformation happens beneath the surface, strengthening his confidence and helping him trust his own power. But there's emotional turbulence too. Hidden anger, jealousy, or frustration can erupt suddenly. Old hurts may sting again, making him react faster than usual. This tension isn't meant to push him, it's meant to break the last chains of emotional patterns holding him back. One other thing is that on or around this day, Om may also deal with hate or negativity from so-called fans, people who claim to support him but project their own frustration onto him. Their reactions can sting, but they are part of the karmic purge he is meant to release. Their noise doesn't define him, it only shows him what he no longer needs to carry. Overall, for Om, the 25th of November is a day of release, courage, and rebirth. He steps out of an old version of himself, even if it feels messy or emotional. He is clearing karmic debris, letting go of negative voices, and moving toward a future where he can live with more purpose, more strength, and far more authenticity. The 25th is a powerful and emotionally charged day for Nanon too, one that pushes him into deep courage, truth, and transformation. There's a strong fiery energy rising in him, almost like a pressure that wants to break through. He feels more intense, more direct, and far less willing to hide his real feelings. This is a day when he might confront something he has been avoiding or finally act on something he has held back for too long. His desires, fears, confidence, and inner fire mix together, giving him a boldness that can be empowering as long as he stays aware of his reactions. Relationships and partnerships play a big role for him on this day. Someone may trigger old wounds, but this also opens the door to healing. Honest conversations, even difficult ones, can bring breakthroughs. He may see clearly who is truly supportive and who isn't. Sudden emotional shifts or surprises can bring clarity about what he wants and what he won't tolerate anymore. His intuition and instincts are very sharp. He feels a pull to follow what feels right rather than what feels safe. There is also a strong karmic energy around him, pushing him to act with integrity and to let go of old anger or power struggles. If he takes action today, it can have long-lasting impact. At the same time, luck is quietly on his side. A positive, expansive influence boosts his confidence and helps him make choices that lead to growth. Even if emotions run high, he has the chance to turn challenges into opportunities and tension into strength. Overall, the 25th of November is a day of truth, courage, and turning points for Nanon. Intense, emotional, but full of hidden blessings that help him step into a more powerful version of himself. Now let's talk about their combined horoscope, the one for them as a pair. I see many positive aspects there, but also many challenging ones. In my opinion, something will happen on that day, but without their exact birth time, I can't say if this means that we will see an interaction between the two artists, if a joint project will be announced, or if there will be some other kind of good news. Maybe it will be something that we don't even get to see but happens behind the curtains. In any case, I would say that what happens will be bittersweet. I also see a huge positive change, but somehow I wouldn't think it's love related. This sounds a bit strange, but if they announce an OhmNanon project at all, I would say that they are not playing a couple. Please keep in mind that I don't have any concrete information. These are all just thoughts that went through my mind when I saw their horoscope for this day. The 25th of November is a powerful turning point for both of them. Emotionally, the day is charged. There's tension, pressure, and a strong push to break out of old patterns. Together, they may feel that something is shifting in their dynamic, not in a negative way, but in a way that forces honesty. Old wounds, power struggles, or expectations from fans might press on their connection. Still, this pressure helps them deepen their understanding of each other and grow into a more mature, grounded version of their relationship. At the same time, a huge wave of opportunity rises for both of them. Doors open, plans accelerate, Conversations or decisions could lead them toward a new chapter. Their confidence expands, their visibility increases, and something about their action feels more aligned with destiny. This is the moment when the right people or the right offer may appear, pushing their careers forward. There is also a strong healing aspect between them. They may talk more honestly, support each other, or understand things that were unclear before. Emotional clarity comes through instinct, intuition, and raw truth. The energy is fiery, creative, and transformative. They might feel bold, more expressive, and more empowered, even if the day is intense. Their bond is tested, sharpened, and strengthened. Overall, this is a powerful shift for OhmNanon as a duo. A mix of passion, pressure, faith, healing, and breakthroughs pushes their relationship into a new phase. It may not be about playing a couple again, but it is about growth, power, destiny, and stepping into a bigger version of themselves. From late October 2025 to early June 2026, OhmNanon enter one of the most important periods for them as a duo. If they ever dream of doing another project together, this is the moment the universe supports it the most. Their teamwork feels natural, their communication improves, and they find it much easier to understand each other. Even in private, this period helps them reconnect, reconcile, or simply get along much better, even if something had been broken between them. Around the 3rd of June 2026, plus minus 3 weeks, this energy reaches its peak. As a duo, this is a good opportunity to shine. Visibility rises, ideas flow, and they move in a direction that feels right for both. But they won't feel this energy the same way. Even if there are some challenges in his horoscope, Nanon benefits more smoothly. In Om's chart, there are many conflicts. For some reason, I believe that he won't enjoy this time as much as Nanon does. Maybe it's painful for him to go through all this again. Overall, this is a time of transformation and healing. In my opinion, this could mean two things. Either they get back together or they go completely separate ways and make it clear that they won't get back together. In any case, the stars help them heal old wounds. And I think this is also what the fandom should do, start to heal. Regardless of what happens with OhmNanon in the near future and if they will work together again or not, sometime during the next 2-3 days I will publish a video about Om's ideal acting partner. I'm sorry to disappoint you and please don't hate me, but it's not Nanon. Stay tuned to find out who it is. Until the next time, shine bright like the stars.